At the heart of this episode, we expect a significant turning point. The biggest war is about to unfold. Yet, before we delve into the details, it's essential to revisit the foundations that have brought us to this point. The rivalry between the Mongols, led by Behoka, and the Turkish tribes, especially Osman's, has been escalating for several episodes now. However, it's not just about military strategy. There's a psychological battle taking place, one that's equally significant as the clash of swords. Osman Bey's leadership, his vision for a new state, and his ability to unite the tribes have all been tested in previous episodes. But now it seems that these efforts will be put to the ultimate test. The episode opens with a growing sense of urgency. Osman Bey and his loyal warriors are preparing for a battle that could decide the fate of their people. The tension between Osman and his enemies, Behoka, the Mongols, and even the traitors within his own ranks, feels palpable. Behoka's treachery has already been foreshadowed, and the episode builds on the idea that his next move could be devastating for Osman and his followers. The battle plans that Osman's forces are making must account for Behoka's deceit and the hidden motives of his own people. But can Osman's leadership withstand this internal and external threat? This question becomes more pressing as we see the layers of betrayal unfolding in this episode. Is there a possibility that some of Osman's closest allies could betray him for power or personal gain? This plot point, though subtle, has been introduced through the characters of both his allies and his enemies. These shifting alliances are critical in the lead up to the battle, and the viewer is left questioning whether Osman can trust everyone around him. The stakes feel personal, and that's what makes the conflict all the more intense. Now, let's turn our attention to the war that looms over the horizon. The previous episodes have hinted at a war that will not only be about strategy and resources but also about personal vendetta. Osman's main adversary, Behoka, has been playing a double game, acting as though he is loyal to Osman while secretly conspiring with the Mongols. His actions are a direct challenge to Osman's authority and vision for the future of the Turkish tribe. With his intelligence and cunning, Behoka is not just a military threat, but a psychological one. His betrayal of Osman has now crossed a point of no return, and it will be interesting to see how Osman responds to this challenge. Does Osman know about Behoka's betrayal, or is he still operating under the assumption that he has a loyal ally by his side? The answer to this question could determine the future direction of the episode. If Osman discovers the truth before the battle begins, it could set the stage for a more personal confrontation between the two. But if the betrayal remains hidden, it could lead to devastating consequences for Osman's army. The timing of Behoka's treachery is crucial. If he moves at the wrong moment, it could spell disaster for both sides. However, if he times it just right, it could give him the advantage he needs to strike a decisive blow against Osman. While the war plays out on the battlefield, there are also personal conflicts at stake. Osman Bey's leadership is being tested, not only by external forces but also by the relationships within his own tribe. The conflicts between Osman and his allies will continue to shape the narrative. Characters like Malhun Hatun, Bala Hatun, and the other key figures in Osman's inner circle will have to decide where their loyalties lie, and what sacrifices they're willing to make for the greater good of the tribe. Can Osman rely on these alliances in the face of overwhelming odds? Or will some of these bonds begin to unravel, further complicating the battle ahead? This is just the first part of the analysis. Do you think that Behoka's betrayal will come to light in the next episode, or will Osman face even greater challenges? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's dive deeper into the potential twists in the upcoming episode. As episode 182 draws nearer, we can expect several key developments that not only advance the plot but also delve deeper into the personal stakes of the characters involved. In the first part, we touched upon the external conflicts of Osman Bey and his followers, particularly the looming war and Behoka's treachery. Now, let's shift our focus toward the deeper emotional and psychological dynamics that will influence the course of events. The internal conflicts in this episode are just as crucial as the external war, and they have the potential to dramatically alter the balance of power. Osman Bey's role as a leader is constantly evolving. Throughout the series, we've seen him transition from a young warrior eager to fight for his people to a more seasoned, thoughtful leader who must make difficult decisions for the survival and prosperity of his tribe. However, in episode 182, Osman is not only contending with external enemies but also grappling with the emotional toll of leadership. His vision for a unified state is being tested on all fronts, and the pressure is mounting. The responsibility Osman carries has never been more apparent. His people depend on him for guidance, protection, and hope. As we see him interact with his allies and family, there's a clear weight on his shoulder. Is he prepared for the war that looms? Or will the sheer magnitude of his role as a leader lead him to make costly mistakes? We've seen Osman in similar situations before, but what makes this moment different is that he no longer operates in the comfort of uncertainty. He knows what the consequences of failure could mean, not just for him but for everyone who follows him. The episode will likely highlight Osman's internal struggle as he balances the demands of leadership with the emotional toll it takes on him. Can he maintain his clarity of purpose? Or will he be forced to make compromises that could haunt him? One of the most compelling aspects of Kuruluş Osman has been the importance of family and loyalty. As the series has progressed, the bonds between Osman and his family members, his mother, his wife, and his close allies, have been pivotal in shaping his decision. In episode 182, these relationships will come to the forefront, particularly as tensions rise between Osman and some of his closest confidants. Malhan Hatun, his wife, has always been a strong character, providing him with not just emotional support but also strategic counsel. But as the stakes grow higher, will her loyalty to Osman be tested? We've seen her question decisions in the past, and in this episode, there is a real possibility that she will have to make difficult choices that could put her loyalty to the test. As a leader, Osman depends on his allies to stand with him in moments of crisis, but family dynamics often complicate matters. Will Malhan stand firmly by his side when the battle ensues, or will personal differences emerge? Meanwhile, Bala Hatun's role continues to evolve. Her relationship with Osman is foundational to his emotional well-being, and her influence cannot be overlooked. However, as the war draws nearer, will she be able to remain the calm presence that Osman needs, or will the emotional strain of the impending conflict take a toll on their relationship? The personal stakes for Osman and his allies will undoubtedly play a significant role in the events that unfold, making this episode a turning point not only for the characters but for their individual paths moving forward. The theme of betrayal continues to dominate the series, and episode 182 is expected to amplify this theme in significant ways. Behoka's treachery has been hinted at throughout the season, but this episode will likely delve into the consequences of his actions. Osman's growing suspicion of Behoka could create a dramatic shift in their relationship. The question remains, how much does Osman truly know about the threat within his rank? Behoka's betrayal is not just a personal betrayal against Osman, but a threat to the larger cause. His actions undermine Osman's vision of unity and stability for the Turkish people. Yet, there's an interesting psychological twist to this betrayal. Behoka has always been portrayed as a man of ambition, but his motives are not entirely clear. Is he working solely for personal gain, or does he genuinely believe that aligning with the Mongols is the best path forward for the future of the Turks? This layer of complexity makes Behoka's actions more intriguing. Is he simply a traitor, or does he view himself as a hero fighting for a different future? As this betrayal unravels, Osman will face a difficult decision. Does he confront Behoka directly, or does he wait for the right moment to strike? The tension between these two characters will undoubtedly come to a head in this episode, with far-reaching consequences for Osman's leadership and his future as a leader. While Behoka's betrayal is a significant threat, it's important to remember the larger external forces at play. The Mongols, led by the ruthless and calculating generals, remain a constant menace to Osman and his people. As the episode progresses, the Mongols' strategy will be revealed in more detail, and we will likely see their full force in action. The question that remains is how prepared the Mongols truly are for war. Have they underestimated Osman's resolve, or are they biding their time, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike? In the larger narrative, the Mongols have always been a symbol of overwhelming power, but their downfall has often been the overextension of their ambition. As we approach the war in episode 182, the Mongols' reliance on tactics and deception may backfire, especially if their internal politics begin to unravel. Could internal strife among the Mongol ranks provide an unexpected advantage to Osman? Or will their overwhelming numbers and strength be enough to tip the scales in their favor? How will Osman handle Behoka's betrayal? Will he confront him directly, or will he wait for a more strategic opportunity? What role will family loyalty play in the events of episode 182? Will Osman's closest allies support him when the battle intensifies? Are the Mongols underestimating Osman's strength and resolve, or will their military prowess give them the upper hand? How will the emotional toll of leadership affect Osman's decision-making in the upcoming battle? These questions lay the groundwork for the next chapter in Kuruluş Osman. The battle is not just physical, it is psychological, emotional, and strategic. As the episode draws closer, viewers will find themselves questioning every character's loyalty, motivations, and the ultimate cost of the war that is about to unfold.